Hello, guys. Sorry about the wait. I wanted to go live. Let me pull up my chat here on my phone, like I should have had already ready. Okay. Yeah, guys, it is cold. It's definitely been a cold one, for sure. I was trying to fix one of my nails. See, this is my recent little manicure I came up with. Bandit. Nothing too special. This one is the one I was just working on. I had to redo, so I was building it. And you can see that it's all a gel. But yeah, this one I didn't like, so I redid it. And so it's still needing to be painted or decide what I'm going to do with it. Haven't quite decided. Hey Lee and Connie. Man, you guys are changing your name. Hey Sunstar. Hey Diamonds. Is that the one I watched? Wait, are you also the other Diamonds person that had Daisy on her panel and Yanni? Or is that a different Diamonds? Hey, my wrench. Oh, really? So they're changing. What the freak? Is changing people's names? This is weird. Huh. It's putting your guys' whole, like, mine would probably say Ziggy3 then when in chat. Let's see. It does. Oh, I'm so smart. So, yeah, I did try to. I'm actually I'm gonna try to download it again, but for some reason. Here, wait, hold on. No shit. I was gonna try to download the video just in case. I don't know why, like, I honestly don't really quite understand why JodiSue dislikes me much, except I could see it as far as, hold on, let me maybe do it like that. I don't know. So in this, it caused a lot of mixed emotions. Like I put in the description, like there was times I'm like rooting her on, and then there's times that I'm sad for her, and then there's times that I'm like, dude, why are you lying? And then I'm like, sometimes like it's like seriously, she's she's right about a lot of things she's saying in it about a certain crew, but she's kind of got me bunched into these people, and I've tried to figure this out. I understand that you cannot like trust everybody on YouTube and stuff, but I kind of feel it keeps giving back, make me think after you guys watch this and the whole thing, it makes me think she's having to almost protect somebody. Like she's basically like forced to, and it feels like her child, in my opinion. And that's the only problem. I feel like she's got to protect him, and so I guess that's her problem with me. I don't know. Because I think in implicating Andy, that puts her son at some risk, and I think that's the problem because I don't understand. Like she talks about how he's such a monster, and that's what's so confusing. It's like, and I believe like she's had these domestic assaults that she claims. I mean, but I'm sure it was both ways. I mean, but I can tell like something doesn't feel right. I felt that at the beginning. I believe Jodi Sue and the stuff that she says a little bit about the family, like his parents and stuff. But anyways, I think we just need to play it and see where we. It was such a mixture of emotions. I think we just need to. I don't know when it actually even starts. Sometimes I'm like, I'll be listening to her, I'll be like, dude, we feel the same way. What's the freaking thing? What's the problem? And then it, except there's that one thing, Andy being on the road. That's the one thing that she's always like fighting me against, and that's it seems like if it wasn't for that she wouldn't have much of a problem with me and Fred. Except obviously, I'm sure like suspecting some things with her son. But I also feel like Andy's the one that got him involved in some of the shit. So I understand. I kind of feel sorry for Jodi Sue because in my theory and what I feel like happened, I feel like Jodi Sue's kind of been put in this fucking position, in a very bad situation between a rock and a hard place. That's what I feel like. I feel for her, but I feel like she needs to do the right thing and go ahead and just tell what she knows to save herself and her daughter, at least. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I took away from a lot of it. I just was like, dude, I feel like she's trying to protect somebody. Trying to wonder, maybe we should watch this on Dee's True Crime because I don't know when she starts really talking about
it. Or something. Could be to try to draw me back out. It's been happening a lot the past day or two, right? But somebody needs to go tell 6-up psycho fucking ass that this will be the only warning I give her. That if she mentions my fucking name or goddamn domestic violence on her channel again, ever, I will take her pretty little channel she's built to harass, terrorize, stalk, go real life and extreme on Ziggy. I will take it from her. and then I'm gonna serve her ass with papers.
I really hope you do, Jody Sue. I truly, but really hope you do. Um, I'm gonna try not to talk ahead of myself here because like thoughts keep popping into my head about stuff that she says in this live, and it gets me ahead of myself because I know a lot of you guys didn't see this because there was only 675 views. So, well, it's been put on clip channels and stuff, but I absolutely agree with her here. But see, like she kind of like bunches me into these people, you know, like I'm also like harassing her and stalking and trying to cause harm to her kids. So all it goes back to is me saying, believing that Andy was on the road and knowing Andy was on the road, and and no, he couldn't. She goes, oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I kind of wish I didn't see all this, but she says things like Fred got the 14th and 15th mixed up, but besides that, he is being honest about a lot of things and stuff. First of all, there's no way Fred was sleeping all day on the 14th. He didn't even know anything about the Jackie Dobbs situation and all that going on. Like, he was probably be honest, he was sleeping off a binge, okay? He was probably sleeping, tired. He probably was up like a couple days. So he was not around. He's told us all that the 14th. He was sleeping all day. He didn't even know about the Jackie Dobbs stuff. There's no way that he got confused. Also, it's been talked about with law enforcement, and I just don't. That's what's a frustrating thing. It's like, doesn't she think that they've talked about that, like Fred and law enforcement when Fred was recording for him and stuff? Don't you think Andy being on the road came up? He just didn't magically like think it up or make it up or confuse it. It's impossible. Like, he's on camera, and Jodi Sue does not. The only thing that makes sense is that she's protecting a child that was probably put in some fuck shit by her ex, Andy Bernard, who is this monster that she claims and horrible person. However, but he's horrible, but he didn't do anything to Summer Wells with what she says. But she said he is a child abuser and he is a woman abuser, but he didn't do anything to Summer Wells, is basically. And it just is frustrating because, like, on one hand, I feel for her because I know, like, she's protecting a child, and I feel like this is my opinion. This is all speculative because we don't know, like, facts, but that's the only thing that makes sense. When you listen to this, like, otherwise we should be pretty much on the same page. Like, I don't understand this because I don't try to make excuses for Andy, ever. And also, she says I built my channel off her domestic abuse and all that. And I'm like, what? And then that's how Six Up built her. Yeah, Six Up did build her channel off me, and that's absolutely true. And she is gross. And she doesn't need to be speaking on JodiSue's domestic violence and determining what she thinks is domestic violence or whose fault and all that. Like, Six Up should shut straight the fuck up about that, unless she wants her picture leaked to Jodi Sue of her black eye. So maybe me and Jodi Sue can hate bond a little bit, and I'll send her your domestic violence stuff. So I guess you're the determinant on domestic violence, which you told everybody you fell off the porch, though, right? You covered it up. But now you want to say you were abused so horribly, but then you weren't. So you don't have a right to talk about somebody else's domestic violence or determine just because Jodi Sue. Oh, the only person that says anything about Andy Bernard is Jodi Sue. It's like,
This right here ain't gonna fly. The rest of them have done it, including Ziggy, the rest of you all. But I'll be goddamned if Six Up over there with fucking gavel hose, Nana fucks for life, and the rest of them with Andy goddamn Bernard and Becca's whore ass all in tow while Karen's lying her ass off on panel about her own.
Amen. See, what's the problem? But yet I'm like, I don't like any of those people she just said. And yes, I do believe that there's conspiracy charges possibly for some YouTubers, because I've heard law enforcement speak on that. So, and there is conspiring and shit going on behind the scenes. So she's right. And I believe, I mean, when she says that she's put at risk and we're putting her life at risk or whatever, the reason why she says that is because of things that she's afraid of getting exposed, that and things that could get her in trouble, or maybe somebody she cares about in trouble. And sorry, I know I hate that word too.
Goddamn brother is gonna stand here and do this shit about me or the domestic violence that was committed by Andy fucking Bernard against my children and I, or pretend it didn't happen, or it was just toxic, or somebody's a fucking Amber Heard. Bitch.
No, I absolutely believe that, you guys, she had to show, I believe that there was domestic violence, okay? And there's a reason why the son was ordered 1-2, okay? Soon after Summer went missing. There's a lot of red flags after Summer went missing that happened with this family. JodiSue has every right to be fucking pissed off at Andy Bernard, because I do believe that he got them involved in some fuck shit. And she can get mad at me all she wants, but I just want the truth. And I say that she needs to just, save herself and save her daughter and just tell the freaking truth. Because in this, she tells the truth about Fred, like towing motorcycles. She says a lot of the stuff I know she's speaking on truth. But then when it comes to Andy Bernard, she twists a lot. She twists it.
I didn't ever lay a fucking hand on that mother.
I do think it's absolutely gross what like gavel geeks especially did in that situation with her daughter. I absolutely think it's freaking disgusting. And it does. I mean, I understand why she's upset, but I'm not any of these people.
Wasn't toxic. It was his ass being a fucking dopehead. You gotta watch out like a fucking mom over his fucking stupid ass to keep him from doing stupid shit. You know? Weed was too much. Everything else was fucking super too much. But no, and if it wasn't that, it was some dirty fucking horn gas station or a fucking grocery store or a goddamn boat or at work or wherever the fuck. And if you didn't watch him, keep eyes on him, because he's a piece of shit abuser, little monster, mask-wearing motherfucker. Also, ain't quite right, like most of the men in goddamn Ben Hill. It's a genetic thing. Females have it too. Wildly enough. But the males have it worse. Right? They're all abusers of some variety. All fucking freak shows. Fucking hate it for all of them. Don't care. But I'll be goddamned if she's gonna sit there and do that fucking shit with Gavel Whore, Nana Fucks for Life, while palling around with Andy, Curiosity, the rest of them. I'll be goddamned. And I'm telling Six, Gavel, Nana, Andy, the rest of you, keep it up in these groups with fucking whorebags like Six up, doing the goddamn dirty work, and I'm gonna march my ass to any courthouse that I can, even if it takes fucking moving and a goddamn putt tent and a KOA to another goddamn state before they got.
Dude, I would totally help her with that freaking cause. Seriously. Because I have freaking proof of that harassment too, for years. And the conspiring behind the scenes, see how we could kind of work together on this. I kind of understand her, but then she has a problem with me just telling the truth about Andy being on the road. This dude who put you guys in this fucking situation, JodiSue, he did. You need to be mad at him, not me and Fred for telling the truth, okay? And come around. You can always message me when you decide that you want to. Well, no, actually, you should just message the police, figure it out with it, tell them the truth. What you do actually know, I truly believe that she was put in a situation by him like as far as into a situation. But you know, she also knew of things going on that she's admitted to, which I'm not trying to give her a hard time. But if she saw signs that she tried to say she didn't know about him selling drugs to the kids and stuff like that until like after Summer went missing. But I just don't believe that stuff, you know. I think that she has a lot of guilt and shame. And you know, sometimes saying people, there's things in this world, actions people take that you can't take back, and it affects and causes a storm all around you. I mean, I don't know.
Fucking papers to have y'all charged with fucking harassment. We're gonna go all the way fucking back to all the fucking years, including Andy and the rest. Instantly trying to get in here and get motherfuckers killed and shit. Look, I'm done with. I'm done with. Ziggy done built her whole goddamn ass channel on my cancer and my domestic violence. First breath out, one sentence. You know, Six Up is not going to stand there and fucking be like, oh, I support abusers and here are all the 1-800 numbers, blah, 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 and be like, well, is Andy convicted though? You know, a lot of men walk out here that aren't, quote, convicted. But look at his fucking record, dude.
That shit pisses me off though about the whole is somebody convicted or this. Okay, first of all, how many, like, I was just talking about this. How many serial killers do you see that have no records all the fucking time? They wear a mask. They're freaking narcissists. They're sociopaths. They wear mini masks like she's talking about Andy, but yet she'll say here a little bit, he did this, he did that, but he did not have anything to do with Summer's disappearance and he was not on the road. And I do believe in a way, in a roundabout way, I could see why she's saying they're trying to get her murdered, because things that she knows and could be connected to when it comes to Andy Bernard. But she wants to blame everybody else, like me and Fred, for just telling the truth, you know? And that's what is so frustrating. But I don't know why she says I built my channel on her cancer. That's just crazy.
For the first order's protection and had fucking out. Well, some judges seen fit to give my daughter and I some protection.
Well, she has a Six Up does it, you know, she's the one I guess that gets to decide what protective orders are actually legitimate or not. That's why I guess the one that was ordered for 2 years from a judge here from me against her, she just decided that she didn't have to abide by. And she's still freaking harassing and stalking me years later after that expired. So she doesn't get how it works. So she doesn't show up to those things. She runs because she knows that she knows she's in the wrong.
If you want to call it that, thanks to you motherfuckers. And all his fucking shenanigans and him running it first month, he done been in prison like he deserved to fucking be. But because of you all and your fuckery, the worst shit has happened. That son of a bitch has not been held accountable, even for the shit he's done through and with all of you all, like Six, Ziggy, fucking Nana, Gavel.
Why do you say that? Why do you say I'm working with Andy Bernard? That shit pisses me off. That's when you know. It's like, because she knows me and Fred know about Andy being on the road for a fact, okay? She knows that we know this. And I know this just because of through Fred and his involvement with law enforcement. Me hearing firsthand him talking to him about it. Like, he's not going to sit there and talk to law enforcement about Andy being on the road if it didn't happen. So, you know, I don't know why her keep throwing me in with these people like I'm doing something to her or I'm hurting her, you know, especially at this point. It just shows, it kind of shows me that I just has to, there's only one thing that makes sense to me. that she's protecting somebody. And I don't think it's Mandy, but she's in a forced position to protect him at times because she has to protect her son, in my opinion. And JodiSue, I'm very sorry that Andy got you involved in all this horrible shit. I'm very sorry that anything that Andy's parents or anybody else could have put you through as a child, like, it's not okay. But you've got to be honest about this here and save your daughter and yourself, like, at this point. It sucks that you would have to turn on somebody that is your own, or that, you know, I understand her position, what I feel like she's going through. Becca is JodiSue's cousin and Jackie Dobbs is Andy's uncle. Oh my God, that would be crazy. So you'll see why my emotions are all over the place in this. It's like goes from confusion to like, there's times like she's crying and like I can tell like I feel so bad for her at times, you know? But then it's just like, I understand. I try to put myself in her position because I get it. She's going to be paranoid. I get it. You can't trust anybody on YouTube. So she's going to be with these people and stuff like that. But the only thing that makes sense, the only thing that we talk about that would be upsetting to her is about Andy being on the road. And why would that upset her? Because I guess it would have to do with something with her protecting her son. Like, fuck off. What are you talking about, these designs? Nothing I'm saying is bad. What the heck? How am I?
Tells that other whorebag's name.
What? I don't know how why I deserve you coming in here saying me to fuck off.
I don't know, chasing the rest of you. Candace and Dawn themselves. PG, the rest. Y'all have heard my child fucking speak about the shit his parents did, whatever. Throughout their lives. How dare you stand there, 6, and say that he's not convicted? What? The messages, his own admittances of laying hands on our children? Right? Was that toxic too?
Well, see, JodiSue, she's gonna. You don't get it because she's obviously gonna go against anything that goes against me because she's like obsessed. And so, since I believe Andy Bernard was on the road, obviously she's put me on this side thing. So of course she can't be on the same side as me. So unfortunately, she has to, you know, defend Andy, and that's why she's going that direction. You see, it's because of her unreal obsession with me. So yeah, I wouldn't really take it personal. But still, like, yeah, I mean, she is a piece of shit, and she's not going to stop because she knows that that's the one thing I talk about is Andy being on the road, and that's the one point of contention that we all have here is whether Andy was on the road or not. So she's always going to freaking bring up Andy and how he's this great guy. Because it has to fit her narrative. These people have no backbone. They don't stand for anything. They fall for everything. And they get off by seeing people in pain. So you letting her know it bothers you here and stuff, it's just going to get, I mean, seriously, she's gross. That's how she's demented, and that's how she thinks. Oh, my daughter has a friend over there be
and by toxic, I assure you, the motherfucker has always meant, well, Jody Sue wasn't a goddamn doormat like Becca, letting me all wild out and do all the dope and shit I wanted, and just wouldn't let me fuck everything, like Pipers in the driveways and shit, you know? Right? Yeah. Jody Sue was like,
I know she's a mod on Dee's channel, but like, or on JodiSue's channel, but I haven't said anything. I don't feel like I've said anything bad about JodiSue at all to warrant her coming here and telling me to fuck off. Like, I feel like I defend her more than anything. I mean, I get it, because if it was my child too, I would take it, I would feel attacked in a way too. I do. But like, I mean, we're kind of in a situation here, you know? And it's all because of a person that you call monster, in my opinion. So you need to take it out on the right people. Like, hey, Melissa.
I see monsters. No, you motherfucking lying. You ain't gonna do me this way. Change is change. Telling me you're sorry ain't shit. Change is the apology. Motherfucker couldn't, and he never could wear that mask long. Hell, you've even seen him fucking abusing that dumb fucking whore online. First thing out of the gates, he's got Michelle, and she's like, okay. She helps him with the shit. She's just as fucking bad as he is. They're both fucking pieces of shit, man. He's also living his worst life.
I don't know Becca, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, birds of a feather. So I don't know if she's purposely trying to rub stuff in JodiSue's face and stuff. I don't know, I don't know.
Nightmare. So in that, every day, I sort of get to laugh about it. And he also hates the fact that I'm wrong. I always told him that was some dirty cashier, store whore.
Store whore.
Anyway, so, thing is, Six, I'm going to ask you, was him beating my son on his birthdays or other things, or, you know, all these things, was that toxic too, you dumb fucking psycho whore? Did they deserve it? Or are they all Amber Heards too? What'd they do? What'd they do to his fucking parents to be smacked across the goddamn face and food rubbed in their goddamn faces and shit? Or kidnapped, put back in fucking cars? What'd they do?
Kidnapped. She just said that Andy Bernard kidnapped her children and put them back in cars, rubbed food in their face, and smacked them across the face. But like, once again, and I'm not talking shit. I'm trying to understand this because I'm confused. I'm genuinely confused. Like, if he did that stuff, then why are you so convinced? You said he's worn so many masks and lied to you and had all these affairs and stuff, but yet you did this and sold drugs to kids and you didn't know until Summer went missing. He knew he was doing that the whole time for all those years and you had no idea. That's how well of a manipulator he is and liar is, that he was able to hide that from you. I feel like I would know something like that. Like, I can't imagine being with a guy for years and years and not knowing somewhat of his, like, what he's doing. I mean, I would have a feeling that something's up. So he must either just be like a really good liar, is what you're saying, which is possible. But if that's true, then how can you sit here and say that he didn't have anything to do with Summer Wells' disappearance when we don't know what happened to Summer Wells? Maybe he accidentally, I don't know, maybe something accidentally happened. We don't know what happened. See, the thing is, like, I'm absolutely convinced, I can sit here and say Fred Hill didn't have anything to do with Summer's disappearance. I can say it confidently and know without a doubt. Okay, but I can say that because I don't have, like, but I don't say at the same time that he's a monster and this, you know what I mean? I don't say conflicting things. So this is why it's so confusing to me.
What'd they do to deserve being called fat or over food and this and the other, like Andy did my daughter and shit? Six, to shove her around and shit, to call them pussies and cunts if they were taking their mama's side. Six, To try to burn us all down in the fucking house. 6.
Tried to burn down the house? Is that what she just said? See, this is concerning, JodiSue. Like, I don't know. And I know that you've been manipulated your whole. I believe it. I mean, if you were really living with his parents as a preteen in a relationship with this boy, teenager, much older than you, and I mean, yeah, it does sound like some kind of a weird situation. Okay, so I absolutely believe that some things happened to you that probably shouldn't have been happening.
See, that's interesting. She said something about burn down the house because when Fleeta was taking care of him, he was bad to try to set fires on the porches and stuff when they get mad at Fleeta.
Really?
Yeah, his grandmother.
He wanted to set fires all the time, just like, but yeah, so he wanted to set, like, he would set the porch on fire?
Yeah, he would set stuff on fire on the porch at his grandmother's.
Wow. No, I don't think that.
And that was
over around it.
He just young.
When he was little, yeah, I mean, he would like go and just push, his cousins and stuff off porches and go up behind you and take a chunk out of your, bite you and stuff. He was just like kind of a terror child. And like Fred's saying right now, he had this fascination with fire. And so that's interesting that, she just mentioned burning the house down and
shit. To call them pussies and cunts if they were taking their mama's side. 6. To try to burn us all down in the fucking house. 6. To beat me with bats in front of them and accidentally fucking miss me and hit one of them. What?
Beat her with bats in front of them, accidentally miss me and hit one of them. This guy that she's describing, that's what I don't understand. Like, why is she...
They do to deserve it. 6. Was that toxic too? You
guys, this is a real she's really upset. I don't know. I feel like she definitely did. I believe that she deal with this stuff. I don't believe that she's just making it all up. Now, I believe she just stood there and took it the whole time and didn't hit back. No, I don't believe that. I do see she can handle her own at times, but that does not make it okay with the kids out with her or any of it. It does not make it okay. Okay, I'm not. So, but it's not, I wasn't there. Like, I don't get to really determine. I do believe her. I think she's pretty passionate about, I do understand too. There's some bad blood between her and Andy. He's with somebody else now. And I'm sure I try to put myself in, try to think from her mindset.
Devil, Crumma Mama, Chasing, Susie. I mean, look, I love you. Tiffany, Benny. All of you in this community who have sat by and watched this goddamn shit be done while proclaiming your advocates. To interfere in all of our lives.
None of us are okay. Me? It's okay. I don't want to speak for like Tiffany or even Benny. But I can pretty much guarantee they're not okay with, like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should just stay quiet, but I don't think they're okay with the things Six Up does. I just don't believe that. Nobody's just sat, like, you're bunching some people together that shouldn't be bunched together, in my opinion.
For justice for real survivors and fighters, protection from them. To those papers eventually wipe your ass with them.
I mean, Andy's admitted on my channel to being like, she didn't have really much opportunities as a young girl. She was living with Andy's parents with a teenage boy much older than her. I mean, I don't know what kind of education she had, if they even took her, if she went to school. Sounds like the jobs that she had was like stripping and Andy driving her around to strip for random guys. I mean, he even admitted on my channel himself to doing that he was her driver. So I'm not, so can you imagine being in a relationship with a guy who is basically pimping you out in a way? She did stay all those years. I mean, I know that's what a lot of people go back to. But I also think of how young she was groomed as a very young child. Like, I don't know. It gives me a headache. Like, it's so many emotions. like
There's a special place in hell for all of you. And I hope one day you see it. I hope that with every fiber of my fucking being. And when Andy's stupid ass come on here, if y'all busted him out in that fucking line too. Recently, also come over a piece. I thought it was always AB and Toaster's oven scamming ass. Did it come up the ketchup thing? No, it was actually Andy. It swore down that was ketchup. But I got the message to prove. I swear to God. Can't even believe that dude said that. Which also proves he let on here before. Y'all let him by with it. It's like I've also found parts on here that, I know that if what he said on here is what he...
Well, you're letting him by with what... Okay, see, JodiSue, that's the problem. I feel like you're letting him by with his involvement and what he knows. You're letting him by with it, in my opinion.
May have been asked by Ellie and otherwise, but he's lying. And they know better. What I do know, he's a monster. But he didn't do anything to Summer.
See?
He didn't do a damn thing. He didn't hurt any of the children up there. He didn't take Summer, and he wasn't on the fucking road on the 15th. But as far as everything else, he's a piece of shit. He is a child and woman abuser. I didn't do shit to deserve anything from that motherfucker ever. Nor did my children. We didn't do anything to be abused psychologically, emotionally, and physically by his parents either. They are all pieces of shit. Court records show this. Receipts show this. Our memories do not forget this, nor do our hearts. And how dare any of you try to take our voices away. Or to twist and turn things. Or to make that money.
I don't think it's... I don't feel like it's... I don't know. I don't agree. I don't know what to... The situation with... I don't feel like 6up. I don't know why. She's just talking about JodiSue and Andy and stuff because of where I stand in the situation. And then she brings up Fred's sister and how 6up's got her little Fred on the panel and stuff like that. Like, she's right. She's on point. Like, 6up has basically tried to copy my life. Like, it's really freaking creepy, guys. Like, to the point, I think that she's moved down there and is now living with these people. Like, it's with Fred. I don't know what's going on in that, but it's creepy. A lot of the stuff she's saying is the truth. I mean,
fuck or something is not. Or to protect him or to keep harassing us through always where the hive goes, ain't it? Whoever they're paying the best to do the dirty work. 6 is it right now. Has been for a bit. She makes poor Pennsylvania Parasite look like a weak bitch. Honestly, blame Ziggy sometimes for hating 6 as much as she does. Now, I want y'all to listen to what the fuck 6 hot take list.
Now, as far as me hating, I really, really dislike 6 Up, and I think she's not a good person, but I don't have hate for her. I don't know her. I don't think of her. You know what I mean? She's the one that has some kind of hate for me. It's like the other way around. I don't know. She's driven by some kind of hate towards me or something. You know, I don't, it could be clearly seen. Like, I don't sit here and obsess about her or anything, or talk about her, or go try to be with her husband's sister, and like, it's creepy. Like, dude, it's so creepy. It's actually, I don't have hate for her. I really don't. I strongly dislike her because of the stuff that she's done to me and intentionally done to try to ruin my life, like, and go out of her way. I think it's gross, but I think that it's a more her thing. You know what I mean? There's something not right with her. It is scary, and somebody does need to step in. And I really do hope that, I mean, she's going to run into somebody one of these days that's going to have the right connection or the right, and she's going to, I heard her, she said, she made a prediction, I guess. And I think it's in this clip that me or Fred's going to be arrested I'm making a prediction. Just put it on. I'm like, oh my gosh, she sounds so stupid, dude. I have no freaking history of hurting anybody on my record or anything. But this woman has 14 mugshots, okay? I mean, it's comical. The level of just completely unaware, like, no self-awareness. Like, you're making a prediction that I'm gonna hurt somebody here soon? Where are you getting your statistics, ma'am? So no, I don't have hate for her, and that's a waste of energy. And I just don't think of her. That she's an annoyance. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Anything. I know that both JodiSue and Andy have both talked about the fact that they were in a toxic relationship that had domestic violence in it for a long time. They have both.
And how dare you? Who the fuck are you? Are you goddamn Jenny Waters or fucking what is it, Adrienne Kelly? Who the fuck are you? Were you under our goddamn beds too? Hell, last I knew, one of them knew how we had sex and everything else. It was the most bizarre shit I've ever heard.
Oh, I know. They do it to me too. It's fucking creepy. I know. Me and you, we have a lot of common in that. It's fucking weird, isn't it? Yeah, it's weird that yeah. I absolutely agree.
Who the fuck are you, 6? And how dare you speak on mine and Andy's relationship? None of you. You don't know the truth. You don't know what the fuck went down in our house, our homes, the decades and decades we were together. You don't know how much I love that man. From the time we were kids. And I always hoped he'd choose wisely and do better. Now, sometimes he could go for years. Especially after jail. Would teach him a little better and he'd learn some coping skills. So he got around some fuck faces inevitably. Right?
How do you know he didn't get around some fuck faces that and that he got, like, Don Wells on one of these Knoxville trips and got involved in something that he couldn't get out of. And how do you know? Why were you so scared that it was going to be your daughter that was kidnapped? You acted terrified, like, oh my God, why would you think that unless you thought Andy could be involved in something? That's the only thing that makes sense, Jody Sue. Like, that's what's frustrating, is that you say all this stuff, and I absolutely agree with you on most of it. But then you sit there and say that Andy didn't have anything to do with Summers' parents, and he was not on the road on the 15th. And then you go on and later say here that Fred is mixing around the 14th and 15th, which that's absolutely not possible. You should have picked a different date that he's mixing around, because he wasn't out and about at all on the 14th. There's no way that it got mixed up at all. That's what people don't understand. Like, I hate that. I don't know what type of shit Andy got you guys all wrapped up into. Like I said, but you need to save your daughter and yourself. That's the best decision you could do right now. That's otherwise everybody's going to go down. And it's just going to keep affecting your daughter. I think you need to save her, for one. Think of her mainly and her future, That's what I would be thinking of. What would be the best thing for her? Because might as well save, even if it's just one. If you could, you might as well save one instead of everybody going, like, life's getting completely fucked.
They wanted to hand him something that just glitched the wiring again, You don't know how much I never wanted my daughter to meet the monster that her and brother and I had already met.
Hey, Rhiannon.
She was too young last time he was out jail to remember what he was. By the time he come back all years later,
Who's she talking about? Her brother?
You don't know how much I never wanted my daughter to meet the monster that her and brother and I had already met.
That her brother and I'd already met.
Too young last time he was out jail to remember what he was. By the time he come back all years later, But that's the dumbest thing about domestic violence victims.
Well, was he in jail for all of those years during your daughter's young? What was he in prison for? You said for all those years later. So he was in prison for several years at your daughter's young. That probably has to do with that big drug bust, guys, that he got somehow out of. That's what that has. Where's all those charges? Because I don't see him anywhere. They magically disappeared, but he did spend some time in jail around when his daughter would have been very young. Sounds like, from what that would have been right around the 2009 or 2010 big drug bust, and then suddenly Andy gets all his charges gone and you can't find them. I think they were dropped or something. Actually, there is the one. That's right. Him and JodiSue's did get some charges, but I don't think. I think, didn't a bunch of his get dropped? I don't know. I can't. Anyway, we'll go by what she said. He was in jail for, I don't know exactly for what, at the time that his daughter was young. And then she said, though, she was really hoping that he was a changed man when he come back for their daughter, that their daughter was so young that she wouldn't have remembered him being that asshole person that their son had already seen, and she had seen before, and she was really praying he was going to be a changed man. And her daughter would not see that. And she said he comes out of jail and she meets the monster, is what she says. So, and I think she says when her daughter was 6 years old, from my understanding.
Some survivors. That's why my daughter has a harder time with it. Because it was fucking brutal. She met a fucking monster for the first time, and she was in a way to where she could remember it normally. You have no idea how much it broke my soul when he started laying hands on my kids. And how much I... It was the last couple years, you know. You know what it's like to not be able to find anywhere safe to go. To be trapped in a box in the middle of nowhere.
She didn't have much. I mean, I mean, she was groomed from a young age. I do see how she would be in a. I didn't mean to stick her face like that.
Nobody willing to.
But I do believe that. Yeah, I do believe she was probably stuck in a bad situation out there with nowhere to go to, nobody. All she had was him and his family because she lived with him from a young age. It sounds like, I don't know what happened with her relationship with her mother or whatever, but well, if they was dropped, he could have told on someone. I do believe Andy was mean to Jodi. I do believe she was. Yeah, and she went to jail. That's true. She did for like a year. I mean, that is sad that he started.
Take certain
Because
children.
she would have been. So if his daughter would have been 6 when he gets out of jail. What? Oh God! Now JodiSue's live.
Too old to be in places of safety for 2-3 days. You and your kids are wanting to fuck out, crying together. And you don't have the heart to say, hey, can't really go nowhere like a shelter because they don't take you or you at these ages. Because then the child would feel like it was their fault. And you try everything you can the last couple of years to get the fuck out. You know, it was like all the years watching that motherfucker, like, especially when you're younger, you know. Always threatening at first, the first shenanigans, you know, it's always every time he hit me or did something to me, it's, oh, well, I'm gonna kill myself, and blah, blah, and me having to talk him out of, like, guns in his mouth and everything else, and all the crazy shit. Times I was drug out naked with guns in my fucking mouth by him.
Times I was drug out naked with guns in my fucking mouth by him, okay? See, no, you've got to be joking, JodiSue. I saw your title that you just went live with, that you've got to be joking, and I'm sure that was a reference to me. You have got to be joking. A man who drags you out naked with a gun in your mouth. You're joking, right? Are you projecting right now? Because I think you are. I think you're talking to yourself when you say you gotta be joking, because He drug you out naked with a gun in your mouth before. These stories that they are horrible. Some of these stories are horrible. If half these stories happened, then he is more than qualified to be involved in something to do with Summerwell's disappearance. I mean, to say the least. Selling drugs to kids and, guys selling girls to him in vans and stuff. Like, very strange stuff, Tracy. This is not normal. Red flag city. So you have got to be kidding me. Yeah, that's true. She could have got help by now. There's a lot of people that would have loved to help her get out of her situation, and make sure she was safe, and her daughter were safe if she knew something. And there had been so many people that would have helped her if she needed someplace safe to go, if there was something that she knew that she wanted to tell police, but make sure that her and her daughter would be safe. I'm sure people could help her with that if that's what but no. Like, instead, she comes on here and she says things like, making it still wants to lie, act like we're lying about Andy being on the road. And that's what's frustrating. Tracy, why would we lie about Andy being on the road? Please stop. You know that we're not lying about that. I don't get that. It makes you look suspect, the fact that you say that, but yet talk like this about him. Okay, you could say, oh, well, that's just because it's the truth is the truth. Well, you say in this also that he couldn't possibly, that he didn't have anything to do with Summer Wells, anything to do with those children, but you just told us he was selling drugs to sedate little girls up at 110. Like, and you're trying to tell me that he couldn't have had anything to do with Summer Wells at all? See, you guys stopped me out of it because I start feeling bad for her for a second, and then she goes live saying stupid shit, and it snaps me out of it, and I'm just like, dude, stop projecting.
You know what the fuck is that? It's like 6. I didn't do a goddamn thing to conserve it. Even if that mother thinks that me being like, no, I'm not taking this shit from you. No, you're not just going running the fuck them up. Nope. Catch you doing XYZ, Didn't even want to fucking smoking weed, man. Like, but anything beyond it was like, no. Nope. He didn't like it. Me asking for change and accountability instead of, well, I'm sorry. Or, hey, once you just do it my way, bitch, and then it'll all be fine. Everything will be a fairy tale. The same song and dance they give most of us. 6, you don't know what anything in our decades and decades of life together were like. Andy and I are our children. How dare you speak of it? Not you, not Gavel, not any of these other fucking creators, not Ziggy, who built our fucking shit. Same breath, monetize it. I don't know. Because the fake CPS supports on the boys.
If anything, my channel has not been built on your domestic violence, JodiSue, at all. That is crazy. What if she did not know? Then she just should say she doesn't know that, right? Right? Like, instead of saying it's not he wasn't. She should say, I don't believe that, or I really, really highly don't believe that, or whatever. Or I just don't know that for sure. But no, she's saying he wasn't, and that basically like we're lying. And that's what keeps this bullshit going. And I guess this is why she probably didn't want any type of resolution, didn't want any type of lie detector, because she doesn't want that truth to come out. And she knows, like I do, that nobody back there is going to release the video footage, because they're all one big clique back there, covering for each other. All these Satanists covering for others. In my opinion. I think she might have found out after the fact that he was on the road. It's not funny, it's not true, because my father was like that and my mother when he drank. I believe JodiSue. I too was drugged, necked with a gun in my mouth in front of my friends, and not one of them helped me. They knew what happened. He was killed. I am so sorry, Marie. That is horrible. Fear. Yeah. And I think that in a way, that's why she says, we're putting her life in danger. I think that's what she means. That, because she said that a lot about me and Fred, that, we're putting our life in, or that trying to get her killed or something. Well, how could that be? Well, because she knows something, or she knows that we're onto something. Just like she says later on in this too, like she'll say, what you got to understand, Six Up, is that a lot of people don't like Fred now because Fred threw him under the bus. So now they're lying about him. Because Fred threw him under the bus, telling the truth, like nobody else here will do. Like, JC, you could be an honorable person too, and have integrity and say the truth, just like Fred has done. See, the thing is, though, she is in a very bad situation because she's stuck out there. But I bet somebody would help her get away from the area if she would freaking, people would help her with that instead of trying to. There's other ways to there's other solutions. Andy did admit to hitting her. That is true. He has admitted it over and over again. Yes. He's now head of a chapter of the Hells Angels. I've been hanging since 1987. Yeah, and I do understand that JodiSue is probably in fear, and she's in that area, and that's the thing. That's why nobody is coming forward, because it is a big group, and that is, yes, that's what does put her life in danger. That's why she says it. Oh, you're putting me and my kids' lives in danger. Because the truth coming out. That's what that's because I'm not stalking her. I'm not freaking, the only time it was years ago, went by and honked, just being stupid. But, I mean, I feel, it's frustrating. I know that she probably is scared. I mean, it's scary. Especially if you're dealing with a guy who could pull you outside and naked with a gun in your mouth. And all these things that you're claiming, and kidnap the kids with whatever you were saying about in the car, taking kidnapping the kids and doing that, taking you out with a gun in your mouth, and him, I could totally see it. Him, being like, I'm going to kill myself. I've seen guys like that. before. I've dealt with guys like that before. That's crazy, Marie. I think she was 11 when she went to go live with his family. I do think that they used and abused her and he pimped her out. I think she has Stockholm syndrome. The only thing that, yeah. I mean, I suppose that there could be different levels of Stockholm. I mean, we know also what her father was in prison for. She's had, I don't take away from the hardships that she has definitely had and been handed a rough set of cards, okay? But now she has an opportunity. Like, there's tons of people that would probably have been willing to help her if she is in a scary situation and worried for her and her daughter. I don't know if I should pull cards that are on this channel, but maybe on.
Not quite enough for Zig. As far as I can see, you and Ziggy ain't no goddamn different.
You don't know anything. Other person. That's
I'm
why you
nothing
tried
like
to
that woman, Jody Sue, and you know it. There's not quite like it. There's nobody on this platform quite like her. She's in a league of her own. She's pretty gross.
Because it's okay for you to endanger other people. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to predict the future. We're going to lay it on the sticker predictor in the future. Ziggy and Fred, one of them will be arrested for a crime. But now for harming another person.
Harming another person.
Bet. I fucking bet you. Bet me. Guarantee it. She keeps talking about we're going to go to jail. For what, bitch?
I do. I don't talk about you. Don't. God, stop saying I keep talking. God, you are so delusional. This lunatic. God, she thinks that she's more important than she. Like, I don't think of her.
Oh, for what? Right? I don't break the law.
I don't break the law. Says 14 mugshot lady. Oh my. I don't break the law. Quote unquote says Six Up Media. The woman that has 14 plus mugshots. You've got to be kidding me. Delusional.
Unreal.
I don't break the law.
How you can say that Six is beyond me because you've spent years harassing, scamming, conning, just no different than Ziggy. You still got your own version of Fred over sitting on your panel.
Yeah, it's creepy, isn't it?
You had to have your token too. You're doing no different than Ziggy is, Six. You are just as much of a piece of shit. And you commenting on her drug use or otherwise is ridiculous, you fucking dope head.
There's nothing, this isn't about Ernie. We're just talking about why somebody asked why Cher didn't go.
I'm not gonna sit here and listen to myself, but I don't break the law. But you guys put it on her sticker pricker, whatever she said, her sticker picker. Fred and or Ziggy is going to get arrested soon for harming another individual. Mark my words. Says 14 mugshot lady, felon, thief. Currently using Hooked on Xanax. Piece of shit, lying, scamming, Reddit posting and scamming. Liar. Ziggy obsessed wannabe. That's what you are. You are a fangirl. I think it's called a stan or something. A fangirl. You are totally a fangirl. You went and got with Fred's sister. You don't see how creepy that is. And then you go and travel. I mean, it's creepy. The obsession, guys. It's like, is this woman have my picture plastered all over her wall? So no, JodiSue, I'm nothing like that woman at all.
Go through with the live that she was supposed to do with Ernie, and I was just.
I know I got some people in here that probably know his record. I don't. Has Andy ever been convicted of beating a woman?
Not that I know of.
Anything? I know that both JodiSue and Andy have both talked about the fact that they were in a toxic relationship.
That right there is bullshit. 6. You all gavel. The rest of them put out that rhetoric and that, toxic thing. No. To cover the fact that he is a known, admitted child and woman abuser.
He absolutely admitted it. That's what's so ridiculous. He literally came on here and admitted it. But Six Up is sitting here lying to people and saying, like acting like it didn't happen. Like, she is insane, dude. I
have no idea in which ways that man abused me or assaulted me over all the decades either, so I suggest you shut your fucking mouth. With your group and hive while palled up with him.
Had domestic violence in it for a long time. They have both talked about that. Andy has said,
So you're aware there's been domestic violence, but you're being like, oh, it's toxic. Huh.
Working on myself. I was not good.
Should we bring up Six Up's black eye photo? That she said it was from falling off a porch. Because I think, should we vote on her shit and decide if we think it's domestic violence or not, guys? Since we get to decide, since Six Up thinks that she can decide on whether certain things are domestic violence or not. I don't know who made her any type of judge, executioner, anything that has any type of power, like whatsoever. She's about the biggest loser living in a driveway of her child's property, last I heard. Now probably hitched up on the couch over at Fred's sister's, like we're really supposed to care what this lunatic says. People watch her because it's laughable, like how insane she is, like how obsessive these people are every day. Single white female. It's freaking creepy, and I don't know if I can sit here and listen to her play me, because I can't stand that woman's voice. Like, I don't ever, you guys, I swear on my life, I've never watched a freaking Six Up the video Like her voice, like is like nails on chalkboard to me. It sounds literally like a demonic, like evil person, you know? And there's and all she does is just hate, hate, hate. And it's of course nothing we do, she's gonna have anything nice to say about. Everything we do, she's gonna go the opposite, you know. It's just that's how she gets her views. And she's literally never had a job in her entire life. And she sits over there and tells me to get a job when all she does is sit over there on her channel and talk shit about Ziggy all day. That's her job. But telling me to get a job when I have certain other things going on besides my YouTube channel and life goals and stuff. Six Up Schools is talking about Z and Fred every fucking night. Not normal. Not normal. And it's harassment. And I do hope that freaking Jodi Sue takes these people down. There are several conspiring behind the scenes that need to be taken down. So I'm pretty much going to end it, I guess, with that. As far as watching this, if I'll share the link and you guys can watch it over on JodiSue's if you want. It's worth watching, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. It really doesn't have, I don't know if it's worth watching. It doesn't have anything to do with Summer Wells, really, in the grand scheme of things. I don't know. It's kind of strange how it is interesting to see. Actually, it is worth watching because she makes several claims about Andy Bernard in this that I think are very important listening to. The gun in the mouth thing, kidnapping the children and putting them back in a vehicle. Just very strange. Setting fires, guys, like, and then in the same sentence, she'll say, oh, but he didn't have anything to do with Summer Wells going missing. It's like, first of all, how could you know that? If he's capable of all this stuff that you've said here, all these things, and I want to believe you on this, and I am kind of believing you on some of it, on some of it, then how could he not be capable of being involved? Maybe he didn't act like unalive Summer. Maybe he just transported her somewhere or something, or maybe, I don't know, who knows? There's a bajillion possibilities of how he could be possibly involved in some type of accident cover-up or something. There's a million different things. No, and that's another thing, Marie, that bothered me too about Jodi Sue. One thing she said in this, it wasn't true. Is that she played off like she kept mentioning. I'm like, is she talking about Laura, like Fred's like ex Laura? And she kept saying Laura, like Laura was in some type of domestic violence relationship, and she escaped. That type of, which is not true. So that was kind of annoying too, because she kind of continues on because you're sitting there while you're telling people not to comment on your domestic abuse, you're commenting on somebody else, another person's relationship, and what your perceived made up domestic abuse wherever you heard that. I don't know where you got that, because there's never been any rumors about domestic abuse in Fred and Laura's relationship, unless maybe PG's coming up with something like that. I don't know, but that's never been a thing. So I don't know why you're saying that. So if you have a problem about people saying things about what Andy did to you or didn't do to you, then I don't know if you should be saying that either, to be honest, because that's completely untrue. Because all that continues to push on is this narrative that Fred's this scary guy, and you do try to push that narrative a little bit, and I don't understand that. You and Candace do that. Like, he's like not the least scariest person. Like, I think he is so friendly. Like I don't understand why they do that. I guess I see why they would with that whole shooting thing, and then that shooting I could see it looks bad on the outside when you're hearing these stories and stuff, but when you hear once you know the details and how it happened, it's like, dang, dude, that sucks. Kind of a shitty situation to be in. Sometimes people get wrapped up in things that, and it doesn't make it okay. But anyways, sometimes the charges are like blanket charges, and it makes it seem so much worse than what actually really happened when you know the details. They even, that's why so many people thought for a long time that Fred was this meth cook, because of his charges for possession, because they put it in like this, basically in the same category as it's like they make it, it says manufacturing, distributing, possessing, and selling meth. They put it all in one big category. And so it's crazy. It's talk about a spectrum. That's a spectrum, because it goes from possession all the way to selling, and they group it all together. And so, yeah. Anyways. Yeah, so that's another thing that I heard her saying this about. She kept mentioning, but she mentioned Allura a couple times, and I'm like, is she talking about Allura, like Fred's ex? Like, that wasn't cool, because that shit didn't happen. She's never seen Fred be.
Anytime you get caught with over a half a gram, it don't matter what the circumstances is, you still get a manufacturing charge.
She is kind of right, though, about the crazies and the families and stuff like that. And I do wonder her experience with Andy's parents, and I would love for her to be completely honest. I mean, I don't know. I do think she's hiding some things, but more because she is scared. That's why she's always saying, "Oh, putting our life in danger, me and my kids' lives in danger." That's why. So I do believe she's scared. It's because she knows something, and she just wants us to all go away and stop talking about it. It's not going to work like that, JodiSue. You know that. We could go away, but it's never going to just completely go away. Like, there's always going to be somebody talking about it. You need to save yourself and your daughter, or at the very least your daughter. Like, seriously, because eventually there's going to be some truth that comes out. Eventually there's going to be something. It's just a matter of time. And she always talks too about how, oh, Andy's already living his nightmare. He's already living his living nightmare right now. What's she mean about that? Living his living nightmare, like, as in he's always having to look over his shoulder? Well, why would that be, JodiSue? Unless he had something to do with Summer Wells. Is there something else, like, you're trying to tell us? Yeah, and she did, JodiSue. Yeah, she shouldn't talk about Fred, because Fred did his time for his crimes. He didn't, do what she did or whatever Andy did to get out of it. Yeah, she might want to. But the shit she says he's capable of is crazy, though. She acts like he's capable. She says, yes, he's a child abuser. Yes, he's a woman abuser. Yes, he's this horrible monster, but he did not have anything to do with Summer Wells. I think she doesn't want to believe it because it possibly involves, I think Andy got her son involved. I think that's why she doesn't want to believe it, guys. That's just the only thing that makes sense. Seriously, that's the only thing that makes sense. Otherwise, she'd be throwing that dude under the bus in a heartbeat because she's throwing him under the bus every chance she gets, unless it comes to being on the road and involved in Summer Wells' case. You guys notice that? She'll throw him under the bus about everything and anything except that. When it comes to that, that's one thing that she will not, she'll defend him to the end for. And that, it's like, why? Why does that seem to be the one thing that you'll defend him on? Because he's just like the world's just most horrible. Every single other thing, like you would say, but when it comes to Summer Wells, he didn't have anything to do with it. He would, you know, we're horrible for saying Andy was on the road, and we're horrible just, you know, like we're putting out some lie intentionally when she knows that's not true. She knows that we're being honest. She knows that deep down. Maybe she doesn't want to actually believe it, but she doesn't want to actually believe it because it's not because of Andy. It's because of somebody else that could be involved, in my opinion. Hey, Smile. We're doing good. How are you? Oh, is that they have your guys' names different. That's that's the lady from Daisy's channel. Or the As Always on Daisy's. Sorry, I forgot your name. It's got your guys' names all screwed up. His boss said he wasn't at work till a certain time. Makes sense. But can you imagine being with a guy that is selling you, basically? So yeah, I do think it's pretty horrible, the things like he's admitted doing that. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe he was just like, I don't know. Maybe he thought she was just dancing or something. I don't know. Maybe I don't know quite the dynamics on that whole driver situation when he was supposedly driving her to these. And he said she would post on pages like Craigslist and stuff, from my understanding, right? He talked about it on my channel. He answers the questions about it openly and said yes, that he would drive her around. He's admitted a lot of things. He just won't admit being on the road. We're not gonna sit here and we're not gonna just suddenly one day be like, oh, sorry, we messed up, you know, or Fred messed up. Oh, thank you so much for the Cash App. I think that was that you, Lee? Back page. Maybe there's something going on behind the scenes with the new wifey. I mean, JodiSue does say that she's behind certain things. Like, I don't know. It's hard to know what things to believe with JodiSue because I've seen things that she's absolutely say that was absolute bullshit lies, like that I know is lies, like trying to make up. It's like she literally came on YouTube and told everybody that her and Fred set those bones up for my dumbass to find, basically. That's what she told everybody. And like she tried to make it in a big joke and into a big joke and all this shit. And that's just weird. Because that whole situation, they definitely did rope off that area and take that situation very seriously and did collect some of the bones. And they're not going to tell us, like, oh, this was this bone and this was that bone. It was a bunch of crunched up bones. But she tried to pretend like, and came out here on YouTube and she told people that her and Fred set that up. Why would she lie about that kind of stuff? That's what gets me. It's like, why is she lying? About certain things that I know is absolutely not true. I'm trying to think of some other things that she said that she's lied about, that I know that are absolute lies, that she would know are absolute lies, and she's doing it on purpose. And it just is like, that's, and what would be the purpose of such a thing? Now, I do know, like, people have said that she like did like to lie a lot or bullshit a lot. You think Jodi would talk to you? Well, you know, she said like oh gosh, it would have been like a year or so ago. She said something like, let's, you know, if you're serious, let's actually work together or something, and that, or something like that. And that would be great. However, we're not gonna be able to be on the same page because I can't get over the fact that Andy was on the road, and you're gonna sit there and tell me Andy wasn't on the road, and we're never gonna get past that. You know, like, unless I just can't get past that. Like, that's gonna be the big point of contention. Otherwise, that would be great if we could, I mean, with her and Fred together and them knowing of the people and stuff around there and being in the drug scene together, they could probably really help. It could really probably help. But she doesn't want to believe Andy was on the road. No, she doesn't. There's something that involves somebody that she cares about, that she is trying to protect, who had to go off to the military at the very weird timing, who also got a protective order against Andy Bernard very soon after Summer went missing. Weird, strange events and red flags happening after Summer's disappearance in the Jodi Sue Brown household. We'd have to be dumb not to notice. I mean, it's strange. Like you said, that she's with somebody for decades, and then suddenly everything falls apart and they can't rectify it. Like, after they've been together for decades, and suddenly he's with somebody else. His son has a protective order against him. It's absolutely finalized. Nothing. There's no chance. It's like no point of return or something. All of a sudden, what happened around Summer's disappearance that made it no point of return? I mean, what? How come Summer's disappearance seemed to have been the ending point in their relationship? She has receipts. Oh, I'm sure she probably does have pictures of Fred towing a motorcycle, because that would definitely be on certain trail cams. because when he pulled in that evening, when the cops were there, he had a trailer and motorcycle on his trailer at that point. So there's no getting around it. He was towing a bike, and this old Fred wasn't towing a motorcycle on the 15th is absolutely lame and completely false, because he came in with a bike on his trailer in front of the cops that evening. There's no way around it. Like, I mean, what is the point of him lying about such a thing? Like, people, stop. Like, it's so stupid, the lies that these people come up with. But yeah, I guarantee she has pictures or some type of proof, or have pictures of Fred coming in that evening. I guarantee she knows that Andy was on the road too, and that's probably why their relationship, their whole life fell apart after Summer's disappearance. Because Andy Bernard got involved in some fuck shit, and it fucked up all their lives and his own kids. And according to Jodi Sue, he was putting his hands on his kids and calling them pussies and cunts, and they witnessed their dad put gun in her mouth and take her out. I mean, the stuff that these kids were witnessing, right? If she's being honest, and I'm sure like some of this shit's got to be honest, okay? But if it's not, why is she lying about that and then saying it? Okay, let's say if it wasn't, then what would be the point of her lying about it, but then coming out and saying, "Oh, Andy isn't involved in Summer Wells"? Like, she could just not say he's a bad person at all, like, and just, I don't know. Andy's the one that doesn't know what he was driving, not Fred. Exactly. And that was happening the night of, or the day of, Jodi Sue. Did you know that? Did you, just like you didn't know about Andy's dream that your daughter had to tell you about? Remember? You were on recording, Jodi Sue, when you found out about Andy's dream and you were shocked and surprised.
And it
So
was all on record when she thought her daughter was talking about the dream.
I know, that's what I was just saying. You must have me. You must be behind. He's listening on his headphones. But yeah, that's what I was saying, is that it was on recording about the dream.
When Jody's daughter come up to Jody that evening, and while I was recording, was telling Jody about Andy talking about the dream. And Jody acted like she didn't know nothing about it at that point.
Yeah, so what other things don't you know about, Jodi Sue? I wouldn't want to believe it either, but if that's truly what she's doing, but I unfortunately think that Andy Bernard probably got his son involved with something, that they got into some bullshit. As I truly believe that. Because Andy, I mean, it's pretty much well known now, Andy and Don were making these trips to Knoxville. Jodi Sue has admitted his trips going to Knoxville and stuff. There's another one back there that also makes these trips to Knoxville for hookers and stuff, and they're all tied in together. And then you get the ones, the Sherfies, with the child porn, and I mean, it's funny too. I do think it's laughable that they try to make it seem like Fred had the worst record back there, because we've got people like child predators galore out there. We have murderers. We have like rapists, but we're gonna make Fred Hill seem like he's the worst one out there. So there was a lot that she was saying that was true, but I just, once again, the whole thing about Andy being on the road is, well, if she has all these pictures and she has pictures of Fred being on the road, or then that means she would have surveillance or have access to surveillance, and she could just put out, you know, she could just show us that Andy not being on the road. But no, it's never happened, not once. Nobody's came out with any type of footage showing either way, because there's too many people back there who are so afraid. And yeah, JodiSue's probably life could be in danger being out there and living out there, but she could be using her time, you know, trying to make a plan, a getaway plan for her and her daughter, in a way to, you know, get something set up.
Well,
and
she took a picture of me when I was coming back in that evening when I passed their driveway, when the officers opened the road up where I could get around, because I had to, the way I come in right there next to their driveway, I had to pull a trailer up to get in that bank around the side of the bank kind of to get around that last car. And she took a picture of me.
Why?
But I don't know.
You saw her take a picture? Huh?
Yes.
Huh.
I've seen her take a picture. I'm assuming that's probably the only picture she's got.
Oh. Yeah, and I mean, she's also doesn't know who to, of course, who to trust. But I mean, oh my gosh,
Because
that's
Damien put
crazy.
the trail camera up after Summer went missing and stuff that evening
Yeah.
on the driveway, on that first big pine on the right hand side of the driveway. That's the only time I seen him the whole time, you know. He come down there and asked her where she wanted the camera put up, and she told him he disappeared. Never did come back around.
Yeah. I don't even know where this, or why this whole Fred didn't haul a motorcycle, why that's even a thing, or what would be the point of lying about something like that. I don't get half the shit that they come up with. I think that they just want something to find on him that they could say he lied, just to be like, haha, gotcha, Ziggy. He is a liar. See, I told ya. Like, it's so stupid. They have to, like, make up shit and say things like as if fact. Oh, Fred did not haul a motorcycle on the 15th. I saw that Nana for Life like saying that. This woman, I think, is very bored. Must like not have a man. Must be lonely. I don't know. I mean, it said a Nana for Life. It should say like obsessed with Ziggy for life, like, or Fred, obsessed with Fred for life, or weirdo for life. Weirdo for life's a good one. Weirdo for life. Because that's them. Hashtag weirdos. Why did I do this? Does this mean hashtag? Hashtag team weirdos. Yeah, these people, instead of, a lot of them are conspiring behind the scenes, and it's true. There could be truly some people getting in trouble for some shit in the behind the scenes in the Summer Wells case, for real. I hope they do go down. I really hope they do. If there is certain ones that have been trying to cause any type of confusion on purpose on YouTube, and anybody, if even including myself, because you won't find me involved in anything purposely putting out lies in Summer Wells' case on purpose. And then they also bring up this thing. I love how they say, oh, the CPS that I put, CPS leak. That was not a CPS leak. People are so stupid. where do these people get this? This was information given to me from a woman claiming that she, who claimed she was doing her, what is it called? When you're not apprenticeship or something. She was doing her some kind of study at Hawkins County and was working. And anyways, part of her residency or whatever it was, residency or something, was in Hawkins County. It had to do for getting her college credits or whatever. And she had claimed to have heard something, heard things through that method. It was not a CPS document leak. She just told me some things. We don't know whether to this day is true or to it's false. I mean, gosh, a lot of the stuff seems true. Like, I mean, according to Jinkies, she said that Candace told her that she was being investigated by CPS for essaying the boys or something like that. And that's, what was in this CPS leak that people talk about me being involved in, which was never a CPS document leak. And it was a source who came to me. I didn't see any CPS documents. That would be very, very bad. I mean, it's not my fault that somebody told me information and, I mean, as far as putting it out, there'd probably be different things I might do or done differently, but it was never like people have made it out to be. They made it out to be something completely different. It was not a CPS document leak. There was no CPS documents that were ever put out. This was the woman. Was given to me in messages. I put it out, our messages, me and the woman's messages, back and forth. The exact stuff she told me. It was all text messages. There was no documents ever. So, let's see. Nana, get a life. Yeah, Nana, get a life. You're good, Marie. I don't think anybody was talking about you. Val was talking about somebody else. Yeah, Val was not talking to you, Marie. Please don't take that wrong. Val's actually a really nice gal. She just smokes a little too much weed sometimes. Can you blame her? Look what we have to freaking... I mean, these people... She has to mod the Ziggy channel. They never came out to check on anything either. Good, it's fine. It's fine. She'll come. It's fine. You didn't do anything wrong. I think she took the Nana get a life thing or something. We were talking about Nana for life. This other woman who, for some reason, has always just really not liked Fred, or has said a bunch of lies about Fred, and has gotten attached to people like Jenny, Jenny is one of the biggest. Jenny and Krama Mama. Oh my God. They thought it was a good idea to try to become friends with JodiSue's daughter. And I mean, Jenny was so delusional that she actually literally talked about adopting JodiSue's daughter or taking her in. You can't make this stuff up, guys. How do you think like that? These people actually think that they're better equipped while they're talking about setting Fred up for and buying cocaine, specifically off Fred. Cocaine is that drug that Jenny said she was going to set Fred up and buy off of him. Remember, Jenny, you were telling people you were going to set Fred up and buy drugs off cocaine specifically. Wonder why cocaine. But yet I'm not supposed to think Jenny had anything to do with any type of fuck shit that happened over at Fred's property and a group of people. So that's where I get that. So yeah. And I'm sorry if Chasing got wrapped up in the middle of that. Who knows? I don't know what parts was hers or not, and maybe there's been some miscommunication there and stuff. And maybe I confused some shit. It took some shit out on Chasing that should have been, I don't know, but her and Chasing had a bunch of lives together that they talked a lot of crap about Fred and I and how we were biggest liars and this and that. But also, Chasing has in her ear people like Jenny, who is so delulu that she thinks she can adopt JodiSue's daughter. Like, legit thinking that. Like, who would even go there in their mind? I'm still in my misunderstanding. I thought I was Nana because I'm old. No. No. There's no. And usually I don't want to talk bad about people and stuff, but there's a woman that she's like in every single hate live about me and six ups. Like, how could anybody sit in six ups and be a good human being and be a regular over there and support that and not have something mentally wrong with them, Like, how can you sit there day in and day out and just hear somebody constantly just talk shit about the same person every fucking day of their life, and you sit there and just cheer them on? It's like, wow, that's your life? That's what you look forward to? Wow, your guys' lives must be pretty horrible. Seriously. If that's like what you look forward to, I mean, seriously, it's so negative. And it sounds like a demon. It sounds like a demon. Judy was all up on Candace in the beginning, remember? I remember when I saw her at the vigil, she started crying and being like, oh, no. It's like, dude, these people are so fake. So fake. So fake. And it's just, and they get set in their opinions about things, and then they refuse to see reality. Fred's, I don't know what he's burning in there. It's giving me a headache. Let's see, I didn't go through my... What is this? Oh. Should I go live on my other channel and do a reading? I don't know. The other Jenny, remember her. Cher's always up 6. Yeah, like, I don't know. And then you find out Cher's tattoo means 666. It's like, wow, it all is making sense. They're a bunch of devil worshippers. Seriously, all the devil worshippers are hanging out together. I'm happy to be over. I don't care. Well, I don't care if a bunch of devil worshippers don't like me. Please, please, I stay on that side. I think he likes a little. I think Fred likes his bacon a little bit extra crisp, if you know what I mean, or something. You know what? As far as the money or what she donated, that was the whole thing was laughable. Like, but to be honest, no, I don't think she donated enough. But either it doesn't matter because honestly, after I thought about it, it could have been any amount, and I still would have not. I would have still thought the whole thing was gross, and she was. It was, I still wouldn't have been like, oh, okay, well, it's all good now. Everything's fine. You scammed and lied to the whole community about your intentions, but it's fine now because you sent $413 to Brandy Vaughn. Oh, it's clean. It's wiped clean. And then she puts something like, oh, well, at least something good comes of it, is what she tried to say. It's like, did you understand that you did all that? You're the one that scammed the community? Then somebody told me she was trying to say that, still trying to say something like we had an ID the whole time. It makes no sense because it's literally on my wall in messages that showed me and her talking and me telling her very early on that about Fred's the ID situation, and she acted like it was no big deal and she would get it figured out. She knew from the beginning. So if we were lying about Fred having an ID, then I guess we were lying from the very fucking beginning when we told you. So if we were lying to you about the ID from the beginning, then why didn't you figure out a different way to? It doesn't make sense, guys. Because I literally told her in messages that I posted, Fred doesn't have an ID right now. Is that going to be a problem? And I told her what we had. And she's like, oh, he doesn't have. No, he doesn't. Not at all. It was like very early on. I posted it. There's no going around it or changing reality. That's what happened. Like, she knew about it from the beginning. So you can't go back. You can't come back now and say, oh, Fred had an ID all along. Because then that would have meant we would have had to been lying from the beginning about Fred not having ID, because that's stupid. Why would we do that? Because most people will work with you anyways. You could have found somebody still. So what would we have done if you would have actually followed through with what you were gonna do, and went ahead and you got a polygrapher that would take his birth certificate and a picture on his phone or a printout of his old ID, paper ID, then we would have been there. Then you would have had to pay for it, and you didn't want to pay for it, I guess. She truly thought she was going to get information, guys. That was the whole point of that. And she thought she would get some kind of absolutely jaw-dropping info that she could just blow, YouTube out of the water with about Ziggy and Fred. And she thought she would come out finding out all these type of, like, somebody put her up to it. I know somebody put her up to it. And it's pretty pathetic that she's letting somebody make her look like the only horrible person, as if there wasn't somebody totally encouraging her and putting her up to that. Not trying to take away the accountability that Cher should be taking, but she's kind of a pansy for sitting there and taking it all when it makes her look weak. Somebody messaged me today and said that they have their cousins live in the same town that Cher does up there in Canada or whatever, and that Cher tries to act like she's pissed off some hillbillies out there is what they told me, okay? And that because she supposedly it's one of those small towns where everybody knows each other. And this is what this woman said. I don't know if it's true, but she said that Cher she tries to make people think she's like this scary biker chick. So is that why the 666 tattoos on the back of your legs that you try to play off like are for your love of Monster? It makes perfect sense. You just said it. You were both lying. Why didn't she set it up, Yolanda? Go set it up and pay for it. If you could get somebody to take his birth certificate and a printout of his ID, then let's do it, Yolanda. Spike. Going to hell for what you've done this summer. You're going to hell. Yeah, the only one, Fred's one of the only locals out there that I think have really tried to help in this case. But yeah, we're going to hell. Okay. Not not the person that, took Summer or whatever, but no, but you're basically saying, oh, me and Fred had something to do with Summer's disappearance. God. It makes perfect sense. Okay, Cher. It does not. You sound like a freaking, like you're drugged out of your mind. It doesn't make sense. It really makes zero sense. Why would we tell you in a message months prior that Fred didn't have an ID when you were trying to get him to do this polygraph and coming up with this idea? And I tell you, well, what, just so you know, Fred doesn't have ID. It's not going to be a problem. I tell you that way at the beginning, you're like, oh no, I'll figure it out. And I post those from way early on. Why? How does it make perfect sense to you that you would later on, that you would say we have an ID that makes no sense. It makes zero sense, Yolanda. Spike. It doesn't. It makes zero sense. If we were wanting to, if we had an ID the whole time, it doesn't make any sense to me what you're saying. Once she found out that Fred needed an ID, someone that rhymes with Cheyenne wanted him to cross state lines. Ryan, yeah. Yeah, of course. They were trying to set Fred up to cross state lines, and as if we wouldn't make sure with probation and everything in advance. We're not stupid with these people. These people think we're that dumb. They were literally trying to set Fred up. Is really what they were doing, in hopes that he would get in trouble. Didn't he have to sell the bike to get the house? What? Aw, that's cool, Marie. Oh shit, leather chap wearing mama with a big bike. Yeah. You and Fred have been trying to get his ID straightened out for over a year now or close. I know. It's been well documented on this channel. I mean, so it's clear, yeah, Sherry, you weren't watching my channel, but it's documented on my channel for us trying to get this ID forever. So it was before even the polygraph was spoken about. We've talked about it on my channel, dumb. Like, it's clear, like, out there for everybody to see the truth right there. And Cher's trying to completely twist and lie about everything for reasons that make no sense. But to get views or to try to, unless somebody's paying her, unless she is some kind of part of some kind of conspiracy behind the scenes with people like Ryan and probably Jenny and Andy, in my opinion. Because where are these people where did Ryan come from? You are really dumb. Yeah. I don't know what that means. You can see anonymous. It's talking about your family. I know what that means. Yeah. But anyways, guys. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I had. Right. Okay. Well, I mean, Yolanda, I don't know, Yolanda, but why is that your business, Yolanda? Why do you care? Seriously, is that really what you care about in your life? Is why Fred doesn't have an ID? And now I'm a thief and a liar because you say so? With zero, you have zero of any type of any, there's zero proof of that anywhere. So nice try, Yolanda. Because you're dumb. You sound like a grade schooler. You sound like a grade schooler. No reason he doesn't have ID yet. No reason, there was no polygraph scheduled. Why not schedule it, Cher? Find somebody else why there was a million other, there's several others that will take it with just his birth certificate. Go schedule it with one of those. You didn't want to fucking do it. Yeah, just hide that person. They didn't want to do it. It's the whole point. We could. Oh, no reason I didn't have ID. Well, we tried. How many times we are the ones that showed the proof of us going into the meet of the license branch and the video of us trying to. So you tell me why they're saying that, Yolanda. I fucking posted the proof. All he could get in Tennessee was the paper one because his it kept getting sent to the halfway house and his wasn't getting any of his mail, so he had to keep having to go in for a temporary, and then he would never get his mail, so he was never able to get the Tennessee ID before he left there. And now up here, it's been a nightmare trying to get it figured out up here. Even worse. And so all he has is a picture of one of his paper IDs on his phone and his birth certificate. And we have like our marriage license and stuff like that. There's other people here. There's other reputable polygraphers in the area that will take his birth certificate and what we have. So if somebody is truly wanting to happen, it could definitely happen. I'm not going to go pay. I don't have the money to pay for such a thing right now. And I'm not going to sit there and collect money for it either. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have that was the whole point of why Cher was a third party was there. Okay. She came up with the idea. I was like, that'd be great. And I think Andy Bernard should take it too. And she's like, yeah, I bet. Let's do it. Basically. And I'm like, and I come to her, I'm like, well, I tell her up front, I'm like, because I'm sitting here thinking anything that could possibly come up. And I told her about the ID thing. Because we were really wanting to do it. And she knew it. She just didn't try it because she didn't try it beyond, I don't know. She just got lazy, I guess, and didn't really want to, I don't know. No, actually, she said the whole time she was working behind the scenes with six up. I forgot. How do I keep forgetting? I mean, the whole time she never had good intentions. So why are we even going to the fact that Fred didn't, whether Fred had an ID or not? We shouldn't even be going there. She's clearly told us from the whole time that she was working with Six Up the whole time. What would be the purposes of that? Like, why is there this fuck shit in the background? There shouldn't have been anything like that. It's the whole point. She was trying to sabotage it from the beginning. So we shouldn't even get to the fact of, well, whether Fred had an ID or not, because she's telling us that she purposely sabotaged this. Little shovel, tiny shovel, man, yeah. Yeah, homie, we ain't trying to take donations for teeth and weddings and things, okay? Exactly. You guys, I took that big loan from somebody, that credit card loan. Yeah, I learned my lesson with that whole situation. Got that back and within a few months. And they won't let it go. Like, seriously, I'm a scammer because of that. All right, when I was offered to me, that was the one time something like that has happened. And I learned I'm not going to sit there and, no, I really learned early on that I'm not going to collect for stuff like that. After that incident, I knew money is not changing hands over here, and I can't trust people. Something that was meant to be a good thing and to help me got turned into something really completely different in order to build a fucking hate channel and make me look like a scammer. They've been trying for so long to make me look like I'm not. Like, they're having to purposely try shit or try to get people to set me up to cause this stuff to happen. Like, you shouldn't have to do that. How come you're having to lie and set things up to purposely try to cause problems for me? I wish we could just call TBI or Hawkins and have them do one and give us the results. I wish it was that freaking easy. People should try living our lives and have to be in this situation. So of course we're going to want answers out there. But certain ones, the ones that don't want answers, are the ones sabotaging this and sabotaging, getting answers, because you got to ask yourself why. Why are they doing that? We're like begging, basically, people to put out footage of Andy on the road for a polygraph, for answers, anything. basically begging for it. But yet then we have these other people purposely in the background, sabotaging stuff to try, when we're seriously trying to do a good thing and get actual answers. Oh, let's sabotage it because we can't have that out there. We can't have the truth out there, right? Couldn't have a chance of this actually bringing out the truth. Because Andy and Fred both can't do it, because if they do, then it's going to show that Fred was telling the truth. Because if only one do it, like if Fred just does it, they could always, and if Fred passes, they could just say, oh, well, polygraphs are bullshit anyways. But if Andy and Fred did it, and they asked them the same question, if they asked Fred, did you see Andy on the road? And they asked Andy, were you on the road? Those should not contradict. But if Andy says, no, he was on the road, and it comes up that he's lying, and Fred says, yes, he saw Andy on the road, and it says that Fred's telling the truth, that's much more proof that of the accuracy of the test than just one of them. So they don't want just Fred doing it. Or they don't want both of them doing it because they don't want the truth coming out. They don't want the results from the last one to come out. The shit that they put out aren't the results. It says no opinion because those weren't the results. No opinion means no opinion. It had not been examined yet. That was sent off to a group of people who were going over that whole polygraph. Oh, it's just frustrating, and we want the results. We're begging for them. Don B has been trying like heck to get these freaking results, but they won't give them to him. You guys, why do we have to sit? Why does it seem like why does it seem like these people are working against us and getting the truth? I understand maybe law enforcement wanting to keep things hushed because of the case and stuff. So I understand not wanting to put out certain results and stuff. But the Cotton Simpson stuff shouldn't be really related to Summer Wells. But for some reason, it must be because they're not wanting to give up these results. I heard that Cotton Simpson's it's been ruled an accident. So the only thing left would be Summer's case. Why? What other reason would they keep the results of Cotton Simpson's results? Like, I don't know. It's so frustrating. But I want to come on and look, because I haven't come on for a while and talked to you guys and had a little. I did think that this was an interesting. Jerry said an interesting live. You guys should probably that you may want to listen to. I don't understand. It confuses the hell out of me, but took me freaking years to come up with my theory. Like, not years. It just took me for freaking ever to come up with my theory that, oh my God, I figured it out. It has to be her son is involved and she's got to protect him. That's the only thing that makes sense. Of course, like something like that would break up your freaking relationship. If Andy did have something to do with it and get their son involved in something and that was going to ruin his life, or like, yeah, she would probably be pretty pissed off. And I could see it causing a lot of problems in a relationship and it ruining a 30-year relationship. Like she says, a decades-long relationship. can't even get the 911 calls. I don't know why Athena's barking. Somebody, it looked like, by the way, before I go, that somebody got me something off my wish list, but for some reason I never got it. So if anybody did order, it looked like somebody had ordered some nails, but I never received them. So if that was one of you guys, you might want to check your order. Pull cards on what? What was it, Tanya, that you wanted me to put on? I don't know though about pulling cards about on the, oh, is she being truthful about the domestic violence? I don't want to do that because that could get me in all kind. I mean, that's not the. I mean, I don't really think it has anything to do with Summer Wells, really. Or if she's telling the truth about. Okay. Trying to think what would I feel comfortable asking? Like, I'm trying to think how I could ask it to see if Jodi Sue really believes that Andy is innocent. If she truly believes that, or remember when you and Skyach and a few others were talking about Jason and the weird shit. Well, there's several claims she's made about Andy, though, so it's hard to say. There's probably some things that are true and some things that aren't true that she's made, so I have to be more specific. And I don't know if I want to go say, like, oh, is it true that he was abusive towards her? Because I don't think that's... But I am curious if she truly believes that Andy is innocent. And I guess I could see what I get with that. Does Jodi Sue Brown truly believe that Andy Bernard is innocent of anything to do with Summer Wells' disappearance? What's her feelings towards that? Does she... The High Priestess... High Priestess is about having secrets, guys. The High Priestess card is a secrets card. Eight of Swords. Oh no. That's like the mental prison. She is scared to death that he could be involved, is what I'm getting. And this is all alleged, guys. Like, all alleged for entertainment purposes only, not fact. Not fact at all. Just for fun. But this is what I'm getting from the cards, okay? She believed that Andy Bernard is innocent of Summer Wells, if anything to do with Summer Wells' disappearance. Ace of Swords. Eight of Swords. She knows something, though. There's some kind of truth that she knows. Gosh. I keep getting she knows. That's crazy, dude. There's something about her knowing something about, and that it's keeping her in a mental prison because it's something that she knows. There's some kind of secrets. the world. And that came out like kind of weird. I think in a way she's afraid to know the truth. You know what I mean? There's something about the world. Okay, the world. I don't know if that was meant upright or in reverse. The Eight of Swords again, guys, that mental prison. That's the prison card. Jail and prison card. I believe he was mistreating her. I believe she was mistreating him also. Oh, yeah, for sure. It doesn't make it like okay, especially at all. Especially he shouldn't have been doing those things that she said to the children at all. Like, they didn't deserve that. Especially, you know, that calling the kids fat too and stuff. I don't like that shit either. That shit does not fly with me. But this Eight of Swords, it says truth and justice. And she is very scared. She's not confident about him being innocent. I don't believe that. I'm not getting that. And Seven of Pentacles, like, that's trying to cause delays and put something off or put out from something coming out, delay something coming out. The Hermit, yep, knowledge. I keep getting knowledge. Hermit is very knowledgeable about something. I keep getting truth and knowledge, secrets. Yeah, she has a lot of knowledge about something. She knows a lot about something, and she's trying to delay something from happening. I think it seems like delaying the inevitable in a way. Eight of Cups again. Eight. Transformation. Eight of Cups is her having to walk away, but not being Seven of Swords, criminal card right here. Oh, buddy. Seven of Swords is a criminal card. Anybody who watches my other channel knows that. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so the Seven of Swords is like the criminal card, like I said. And then the Eight of Cups is having to walk away, like being very disappointed, having to walk away from something. I don't know why Athena's barking. She probably thinks she's going to get some food or something. Oh my God, poop appeared in the toilet now. This shows her having to walk, being disappointed. See the Seven of Swords, the Empress, the Mother, King of Swords, that's an authority figure, Ten of Cups, Chariot, the Devil. So there's something here about Seven of Swords, something criminal next to the Empress, the Mother card, and the King of Swords, an authority figure. I'm in my trance, Matthew. I can't break the trance. What's this High Priestess mean for... See, Five of Pentacles. Hardship, loss, isolation, feeling abandoned, adversity, struggle, unemployment, alienation, and disgrace. So when I was asking is does Jodi Sue feel that Andy Bernard is truly innocent of anything to do with Summerwell's disappearance? That's what I wanted to see. And this is her feeling scared because of secrets she knows, and she's struggling, and she's obviously worried. I know my camera sucks. Someday I'll get a better one, a better webcam. I think it's about time. But that does not show me somebody that's confident in somebody's innocence at all. Like, that's somebody worried. Look, death card at the bottom. That's crazy. What's this Ace of Swords? Whoa. Ace of Swords and the Five of Swords. Again, another 5. Arguments, disputes, aggression, bullying, intimidation, conflict, hostility, and stress. So she knows something that has caused her a lot of stress, a lot of arguments, and this is all due to something she knows. She knows something. See, this is all alleged, entertainment purposes only, but she knows something, and it is bothering her, and it has stressed her, and she's in this mental prison, and she's trying to delay the inevitable. What's this Eight of Swords mean? The King of Cups. See, and that's right next to the like jail or prison card that with this King of Cups. That's like, she's worried. In a way, she doesn't want him to go to prison. There's something about him going, or she's afraid of him getting in trouble. Somebody she cares about and loves. This could be somebody else like that she cares about and loves. It doesn't necessarily, I guess it could be, you know, her son, I guess. It's a man. Or somebody she loves, cares about. So, and I see her, it shows her in their future having to walk away from this idea that of hiding some kind of truth about this King of Cups or about somebody that she loves. It's like it shows her having to walk away, being disappointed because she's having to basically tell something that she knows. Yeah, I'd be scared too. Honestly, I would be. But she does have, she is in a position too that people would help her and especially help her daughter have something, be out of place, make sure they were okay. But the only thing is like, unless she's so scared of her going, because you remember she used to also say, like, if something happened to me, she was always setting up her passing away, or if something happened to her, or that her kids being taken care of. Like, it's almost like she was always setting herself up for something happening to her, like her going to prison, or her, you know, passing away for some reason. What's the Seven of Pentacles? Yeah, her son going to military fast was definitely sus. What's the Seven of Pentacles as far as Jodi Sue and how she feels about Andy's involvement in Summerwell's disappearance, if anything? So So the King of Pentacles has to do with some kind of sense. There's something here about us. She's delaying something because of some kind of sense of security. She's holding on to memories, the good memories. She has nostalgic memories of knowing him since a child. And there's times when things were good. I mean, at least that's what it looks like when they were children or something. I mean, there seems to be some good memories. And it gives her a feeling of safety and something about keeping those memories protected, like this memory of what could have been. She has this memory of like what could have been, and she's holding on to that, like what could have been. And they could have had, at one time we had such good times, and I've seen Andy be so. It's like she's seen him be a good person, or she's seen the good side of him, or she's seen certain. She did wish a lot. She had a lot of dreams for this relationship, and she's holding on to something that's never going to be, and she needs to snap to reality. That's really truly what it is, in my opinion. And they were together their whole lives, so I do understand why it's not easy for her to just be like, okay, I'm done, over with. I understand. And I do get, I feel kind of bad for her when people say, oh, she should be over it and stuff. I don't think that. I feel like that she spent her whole life with the person, so it's like mourning something. I mean, her life changed very majorly, but she's still holding on to something that will never be. What's this Hermit mean for JodiSue's feeling on Andy? Is Andy Bernard truly innocent of Summerwell's disappearance? Six of Pentacles on top of the Hermit. And the Six of Pentacles is about community and support, giving and receiving, and gratitude. Nine of Pentacles. I don't really like that one, because this is kind of her getting some kind of charity or money or material help. It even says material help on top of the card. And it's almost like, it's weird. It's almost like she's benefiting by, she feels like she'd be benefiting more right now because she can make money off the case better now without it being solved or something. I don't know. I hope to God that I'm interpreting this wrong. Let me get an extra card just to make sure here from another deck, because this card says generosity, charity, community, material help, support, sharing, giving, receiving, and gratitude. And it's on top of the Hermit, which is, Hermit is about somebody who has has a lot of knowledge. It's a big card about knowledge and being in solitude. What's this mean? This Hermit, Six of Pentacles, for how does she really truly believe Andy Bernard is innocent in Summerwell's case? 100%. Two of Pentacles. That's about balance. Again, the Six of Cups. Which the Six of Cups is about the past and memories and nostalgia. Two of Pentacles, too, is about being resourceful. And feeling, it's like she feels like this is the better, like she feels like this is her only thing she can do, like, to remain balanced. Like, she is absolutely afraid of some kind of truth coming out. And so she's so afraid that her life is going to be turned upside down completely, and way more than it's already been, when this truth comes out. And so it's like she's trying to delay the inevitable because she's holding on to a sense of security and safety. And she's also being able to make money at the same time, and she's needing money, so it benefits her there as well, as far as, like, she's holding on to something that, and I see her having to let go. It's not going to last forever. The Eight of Cups is having to walk away from this Two of Cups. She's still holding on to that. She's truly still holding on to this this possibility that they could possibly, she is like a Stockholm syndrome type thing, in a way, is what it feels like too. Again, that trying to be flexible, and this Hermit, again, self-reflection, searching for self, withdrawal, solitude. Ten of Wands, being like very burdened. She still has some kind of major faith in this devil, getting past this devil, or she's holding on to something that has to do with the devil, and it's just, and she needs to take this leap of faith and walk away with this Eight of Cups. There's this she can't keep up this whole thing forever. It shows it like being too exhausting. That's why she called her kids little. Yeah, she did try to make him seem younger. More about this Eight of Cups and Two of Cups. What's her feelings about Andy Bernard's involvement? The Four of Swords. She's protecting something. Yeah, she's gonna have to walk away from protecting this. She's acting like she has a strong loyalty. Okay, I mean, God, she spent her whole life with this guy. It's very hard for her to walk away and to move on. She's still, like I said, holding on to something, to some kind of security, safety, protectiveness. It's like a feeling of nostalgia, something that it's Look at this like line right here. I hardly ever notice that, and that's that loyalty. That's her extreme loyalty that she has. I see her walking away from this loyalty though, or having to. I don't see her confident at all. Look, here's the sun. Uh-oh. There's her son. Having to walk away for teamwork. A new beginning. There's the devil. Look at this, guys. Look at this. The sun. The Three of Pentacles, which is like a team of three, or like some kind of teamwork. Ace of Cups, a new beginning in love. Eight of Swords is like the prison card again. The Nine of Swords is having fears and anxieties about somebody going to prison. Somebody you love. The Devil, right next to that, the Nine of Swords. And Two of Swords, that's about being stuck, having a really hard decision to make. Three of Swords, heartbreak. Absolute devastation because she's in this situation where she loves somebody. She's in this team, their son, this team of three. She's having to walk away from being a team of this three. Look at this, guys. This is crazy. The two of Cups. That's like this relationship she had with Andy. The son, her son. Three of Pentacles. That's them. The three of them. JodiSue, Andy, and her son. It shows her Eight of Cupsing them, walking away, having to walk away and do something differently. It shows this new, like this battle because she has all this love. She wanted this new beginning. She has this fairy tale in her head, like that maybe somehow we could just rectify and we'll be a family and it will all come back together and all get fixed. That's what she's thinking. And she wants this new beginning so bad, this Ace of Cups, this new beginning in love. This is how she is because she's not getting it. And it's like a nightmare to her. It's not happening. And she's having to walk away from this devil energy because it's got her stuck. There's that decision. It's got her heart broken because she's having to turn on somebody she loves. She really loves somebody here. This King of Cups, it's the King of Love. Ace of Wands, that's her taking some kind of action and having to make a decision. This is about choices. The Seven of Cups. Five of Pentacles is like despair, abandonment, having to abandon. Like that's just her, like that's about homelessness. Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady. So something moving slowly. The Mother. Yeah, Six of Cups, slowly. Yeah, slowly. Eventually I see her. I don't know how long this is going to take her, but it feels like to me eventually she's going to talk to somebody or tell something. But I hope. I don't know, but I don't feel confident at all, especially after that reading. I still do not believe that she thinks Andy Bernard is 100% innocent. I think that she is scared to death that he isn't, that she knows something. Like, I think she knows that, but I think at the very least, she's scared to death that he is involved with something. And she's afraid that her son has also been brought into the mess. And she does. I mean, she has to know. That's why their relationship fell apart and everything fell apart after Summer went missing. I mean, why that situation should not have made their relationship fall apart at all. It should not. He was a philanderer and messing around all the time. A whore dog. Like, she said he was always doing that shit with his hookers and shit. What was the difference? Something changed. And that something changed was Summer Wells. Summer Wells went missing, and that's what changed and rocked your guys' world and tore your relationship apart. I don't know. Until I know that some part of me feels bad for her for whatever, for her situation that he got them all tied up in. That's what I feel like. But until I know the whole truth exactly, and her, what she knows exactly, and her actual involvement, it's hard for me to feel too bad for her. You know what I mean? Because I don't really know exactly what she truly knows and what her actual involvement is. But the only choice here is, if she wants, the only honorable thing I see that she could do is save her daughter. That's the only thing. Or say, literally tell the truth, at least for, because if she keeps going on and on and on and on, it's just going to make things worse and worse and worse. She's holding on to something that's never going to be. It's ruined beyond repair at this point. It's never going to be this fantasy like she's got in her head. I mean, she's even said herself, like, she would hold on to this hope that he was going to change, and, you know, maybe this time be different, and all this and that. So she definitely really, she talked about, she cried, she got really upset, teary-eyed, and talked about how much she loved him so much, you know, and talked about how much she loved him since she was a child, and, you know, and how much she really wished he would have changed, and how she kept giving him chance after chance because of how much love she, you know, and you could feel the pain. And I mean, you could tell she truly loved him and spent her whole life with him. And she feels a strong loyalty. But she needs to do the right thing, is all I gotta say. I don't think her daughter's 18 yet. No, I think she's more like 16 or something, but I think she's about my daughter's age. I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna take a long time. It's not, I don't agree that she should get over it so quickly. I don't think that that's fair, because even Jim, like, passing away 3 years ago, in a week it will be 3 years. It seems like yesterday. It does not seem like 3 years ago. So they were together their whole lives, you know what I mean? Since she was literally like 11 years old. And he was like 4 or 5 years older than her. So and she's living over this boy's parents' house, who she says abused her and stuff. Like, whole situation's weird. I wish she'd really come out and tell what she really knows about what kind of, well, I don't know. Nobody's going to believe it until she tells the truth about Angie being on the road. And I don't know. Like I said, she needs to come up with a game plan to get away from that area. That's the first thing. She can't stay around that area. That's definitely not going to work. Her and her daughter need to move, and she needs to tell police exactly what she knows, or you tell them that she's scared or whatever. Why did her family allow her? Yeah, I know. I don't know. Well, her father just died in he just passed away in prison, didn't he? He was in prison for the R word. You know, I don't think she had the best of, but it's not it. But she needs to do what's the right thing now for her daughter. Seriously, give her daughter. She needs to give her daughter a chance and just tell the truth about this situation, because in this nightmare, I would really freaking appreciate it, because I want this nightmare to be over too. Jody Sue, I'm not sitting here trying to exploit you and your kids until the end time. I'm not one of those that's trying to put off like the case from being solved. I think that you kind of are more so doing that, because I think you're worried. I really do think you are. Can't say I exactly blame you, but this whole situation is it's seriously, that's why law enforcement knew from the beginning that this case was one that was much more complex than we could even imagine. Her daughter's, oh, really? No, that's not really cool either about her daughter being around that. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go. I've been not trying, but I've been saying I'm gonna go for like 2 hours now, or almost an hour, a little over an hour and a half, and I've been just keep going and going. So, guys, you guys all have a good night. I'm gonna get some rest. I'll talk to you guys later.